Okay, welcome. Welcome to Yin Yoga with Kali. Today we're going to work into the legs and feet, a little bit through the hip flexors as well. I thought I'd include today, always helpful if we've been doing a lot of sitting. And yeah, otherwise, again, you're welcome to start class on your back, lying down if that feels best for your body. Or you can also begin class seated. So we'll begin with some breaths, some meditation, and some awareness. So really find wherever feels comfortable for your body. I like to be in this kneeling pose in a Virasana. If you are seated, perhaps just taking your hips up a little, just keep a little forward tilt with the pelvis so you're more comfortable as you're seated. And otherwise you just need your bolster, or you can use some pillows or a couple of pillows, blocks, or maybe some thick books that you can use as well. And from there I'll guide you through how to use them. Okay, so wherever you are, just come to find stillness. So make any adjustments you might need to feel comfortable. And if it's comfortable for you, closing down the eyes. Nice. And then from there, just feeling the floor underneath you. So finding a sense of comfortability, a sense of stillness. Just notice the feeling of gravity pulling you down towards the floor, and then the feeling of the floor and the earth holding you up. Just allowing yourself some time to consciously arrive here. Letting your energy, your awareness be within the four walls that you're in and on your mat. So noticing any sounds that you can hear. Sound of my voice, any music maybe playing. Any other sounds you can notice. And with hearing these sounds, can you allow them to be just as they are? So if we allow our awareness is to expand a little bit and notice that the sounds are coming in whether we like them or not. So can we just allow them to be as they are? Noticing them coming and going. And from there, we'll bring our awareness towards the breath. So noticing the sensation of the air coming in the nose, in the throat and into the chest. And as you exhale, can you allow the shoulders to relax, the face muscles to let go? A few more breaths like this, just noticing the sensation of the inhale breath. And the sensation of the exhale breath. It's the way that the body can soften on the exhale. Two more breaths like that. Together we're going to come into 5 rounds of an even breath. So this will look like an inhale through the nose for 4, or 5 actually, let's go for today, and then an exhale through the nose for 5. So we're evening out the breath, and we'll do 5 rounds. So to prepare, we'll inhale, exhale, letting go. And we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's take 2 more rounds. When you're ready, releasing that practice. Noticing here how it may have changed, how you feel, the breathing. Sometimes just a few simple rounds of breath can really help to stabilize the body, to bring us into some balance. Finally here, just tuning into if you have an intention for your practice today. When you're ready, blinking, open your eyes. And if you are on your back, you can slowly make your way onto your side and make your way up to seated in your own time. So we're going to start today down in the feet. So we're going to come into something called rainbow toes. And the target area for this one is in the plantar fascia. So that's the fascia that's in the bottom of your feet here. So there's a couple of options in terms of how you may want to set yourself up. So first of all, you may want a blanket underneath the knees because we're going to have weight on the knees for about 3 minutes. So if you need that, just pop it under the knees. And then the setup is to take the weight forward onto the hands and to tuck your toes under. So the first and most simple option is just to sit back onto the heels and you're going to stay in this position. Now there's an option here if that's not comfortable for your knees. You could pop a block between your bottom and your heels. That'll just take the angle out of the knees there if that feels more comfortable. And then another option to support the body is that you could come forward, place the forearms onto the bolster and then allow the head to fall down. So essentially you want to feel sensation in the back of the feet here and it can be quite strong. So please come in slowly wherever you want to be. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So please adjust as you need. Just try a couple of different options in terms of what support you might need for the body, for the feet, and then come to find your position. And you can either stay upright and keep the head just on top of the spine, or if you are leaning forward onto your bolster, you can release the head down. So know that throughout the practice, you're more than welcome to come to rest if you need to. You can adjust yourself, even try another option with the body. So please make sure you feel comfortable, that you don't feel pain in your joints, or it's okay to feel sensation and to really use the breath to breathe into it, but you don't want to feel a sort of pain that feels injurious or a compression in the body that doesn't feel good. So please adjust as you need. And also come to focus on the breath. So we're wanting to breathe in and out of the nose. And nice and long and slow down into the belly. So settling in here, I've got another 1.5 minutes. So really begin to focus on the breath. Soften into the pose. Maybe even imagine breathing down into the feet where you feel the sensation. And then as you exhale, imagining the body softening, that part of the feet softening, really bringing online your imagination just to help the body to soften, to relax. Beautiful. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Then to rebound this one, we're going to untuck the toes. You're going to take the bottom back to the heels into a child's pose. So here you can either keep the knees together and take the arms beside the body, the forehead to the floor, or you can take the arms out in front and allow the forehead to come to the floor like that. Just see which one feels better. We'll be here in rebound for a minute. And more than likely, you'll feel quite a lot of sensation in the feet, maybe around the balls of the feet. Just notice that sensation as it changes, taking a few breaths. Allowing the rest of the body to soften down. And taking 5 more breaths here. And slowly, when you're ready, you can place hands underneath your shoulders. Let's come up onto the hands and the knees now. And take a few cat and cow here. So we'll inhale, drop the belly. Then exhale, take the chin to the chest and round through the back. So keeping that moving, inhaling, dropping the belly. Exhaling, rounding the spine. We'll go one more each way. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you can come to sit back onto the heels. So we're going to come into some lunging now. So we'll be targeting the front of the hips. I'll give quite a few options just so you can see, experiment with your body and see what feels best. So you might need your blocks and also your bolster. So the first option that I'll give is that we'll bring the bolster across your mat and then have your blocks in front. So the first one is to take your left foot forward into a lunge, and then this bolster here will just support the front of the hip. Now with the blocks, you can take them either side of the foot, so they're sort of underneath the shoulders, and you'll open up this way. So that's your first option there, wanting to feel some opening through the front of the hip. You can let the head relax. You could even take your blocks on a slightly lower setting or even all the way down. And then another option here, if this doesn't feel quite deep enough or it doesn't feel right for your body, is to go your leg out to the side on the outside of the arms. Arms come on the inside and then you're relaxing down here. And then another option from there is to come down onto your forearms. So just make sure you're not getting compression in this left hip as you do that. So see what feels best. For me, I feel like this is the best option. Just see how you go. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So find your option here, wanting to feel a sensation in the front of the hips. Obviously, you don't want it to be too strong that you can't breathe. So come in slowly and just move slowly into that sensation. Now you can allow the head to drop down. These first few poses that we're doing, they're more of a yang yin pose. So it's okay if you feel like it's not so easy to relax into these first few. Just see how you can use the breath to surrender as best as you can. So again, you can breathe into the front of the hip, inhaling, and then exhaling, seeing if you can soften into it. So in yin, the practice is to relax and to help our nervous system, to stimulate our Chinese medicine meridians. But we do also work with finding our edge, so finding sensation and then learning through the practice and through the poses to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And one of the benefits of doing it in this controlled way is that we build our resilience to sit with uncomfortable sensations in the body or a feeling that we want to come out but still persevering as long as we're not in pain. And I feel like this can be a good preparation or a good rehearsal to be able to sit with the uncomfortable parts that come up off the mat in our life. That's a beautiful thing about the practice, is it can eventually come out and into the rest of our lives. Beautiful. We've got 1 more minute here. Beautiful. We'll take 4 more breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can press into the hands, bring the knees back. Now I'll give you 2 options for your rebound. First of all, you could just come to a wide knee child's pose and send the arms forward. If that doesn't feel good, another option is to come down onto the belly, take the arms long and take the head to the side. So just find the option here that feels best for you. And just notice the sensation in the body here. So what does it feel like in the front of that right hip? Just finding your breath again here, noticing how you feel. We've got 30 more seconds. When you're ready, looking forward, let's come up onto the hands and knees. And you're going to just bring some circles into the hips, just to bring a little bit of sensation through the hips, just moving a little before we come to the other side, reversing direction. Beautiful. And then from there, we'll come to the other side. So this time we'll step the right leg forward. You did the right leg before, that's fine. You can just come around to the left side now, but I'm coming with the right leg forward. So again, the options are you could have your bolster underneath the thigh and then the blocks like so. Or you could take your right leg out to the side, take the arms on the inside, then you can remove that bolster, or you could come all the way down to the forearms as well. So find your option here, whatever feels best for you. And then we'll take the right leg forward, and finding your option. We'll be here for 3 minutes. So knowing that this side may need a different option, so just become curious with the body, with what it may need. Beautiful, settling in here. Yeah, I've just got to blow my nose. We're working today as we begin to work into the hips and into the toes. We're working with the earth element. So beautiful thing about the earth element is it has a nice grounding energy. It really has a sort of mother energy. So when we begin to work through the legs and through the feet, of course, because it's our lower body as well, it has sort of a grounding effect on us and on our energy. So as much as these might be slightly more intense pose to begin, they are also quite grounding as they bring our awareness down into the lower half of the body. Beautiful. And we've got 1.5 minutes here. So settle in, adjust as you need, come back to the breath. Beautiful. Let's take an inhale breath. Releasing exhale. And walk your hands back towards you. This time we're going to rebound down onto the back. So perhaps you might want your bolster underneath the knees. You also would be more than welcome to rebound on your side or on your belly. Just coming to lie down onto the back, taking whatever support you might need. Rebounding down, really allowing the back body to rest into the floor. Feeling that with each exhale, the back body releases down into the floor. Perhaps even imagining that you have a grounding cord going down from your hips through the floor and into the earth. From here, you can exhale down into the earth, whatever isn't needed, any worries, concerns. And then inhale and breathing in and up that nourishing and grounding earth energy. The body softens with each exhale. Take 3 more breaths here. Come on. Or if you'd like to rest here longer, you're more than welcome. If you do feel ready to move, you can place your feet onto the bolster or the floor. Allow those legs to come side to side, releasing through the hips, through the lower back. And when you're ready, rolling to one side, making your way up. And we're going to come to stretch into the hamstrings now, so into the back of the legs. And we need maybe a block and a bolster. So again, we're going to start on the left leg. So we're going to take the left leg out long. So it can be in line or out to the side. It doesn't really matter too much, whatever works better for your hip range and your hip rotation. And then you're going to bring your right foot and just place it in like so. Now, if this isn't comfortable for the knee, you can also just straighten both legs and come over one. Or another option is to bend the knee out like that. So that's quite uncomfortable for my body, but for some people's hip and knee rotation, that might be better. So just find what feels best for your body. And then take the bolster either along your leg or you can take it over like this. And then we're reaching forward towards that left leg. So you're aiming to get a sensation in the back of the leg. And because we've got the bolster here, we will also feel it in our back body. If you don't like that sensation in the back, or if you have a sore back, you can just straighten the spine and let the head hang down. Or if it's okay, you can let the body round. So if you need it as well, you can take a block to support the forehead. Just see what feels best here. We're looking for that sensation in the back of the leg. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So hands can be down to the floor, or you could reach towards the leg and just allow the head to come down. And find your breath here. So you're wanting to think about breathing maybe up the back of the leg, feeling into the hamstring. And then as you exhale, the body is softening and you're rounding forward. So now we're beginning to work here with the water element. So the bladder meridian that's running up the back of the leg. And working with this element can be really nice for restoring your energy. It's related to the season of winter. So a really nice way to nourish the body, to help us begin to slow down and calm the body as well. So following the breath here as you inhale up the back of the leg. And then as you exhale, rounding through the spine, allow the head to relax down. And let's see if you can really surrender into the pose here. One more minute here. Beautiful. And then making your way up slowly. We're going to marry this into another pose where we're going to come into a straddle now. So you can take your other leg long and just take them as wide as is comfortable. So it doesn't need to be too wide just to be able to feel sensation in the inner thigh here. And then to feel that sensation, we're going to come forward. It may be enough just to lean forward slightly. And then if you feel like you have the capacity for more, you can come forward onto your belly, and hands can be on the bolster and head stacks on top, or you could take the head to one side. If that's a little too far, you could pop a block underneath to bring it towards you. Or again, as well, what you could do is fold that bolster over and round forward. And then as your body softens, you can allow it just to slowly unfold and roll forward. So lots of options there. Just see what feels best for your body. And again, we're going to do 3 minutes in this pose. So just finding what amount of sensation, what position feels good for your body here. You really can allow the top of the body to round, to relax down. Looking for that sensation in the inner thigh. So that 70 or 80% of your range or your sensation. As long as you can keep breathing nice and slow down into the belly. And here we're working with both our kidney and our liver meridians that are coming up through the inner thigh. So the kidney is paired with the bladder, where we just stretched before for the water element. And the kidneys are really known to be in Chinese medicine sort of like our battery pack out for our energy. So holding the Jing, the life force energy that really sustains us, keeps us alive. And through practices like Yin Yoga, and when we work with these meridians, we can help to support our energy levels and sort of to fill the tank back up a little bit as well. As you sink into the practice here, see if you can just let the body surrender into it, maybe noticing if there's any parts of the body that are holding that perhaps don't need to be. And breathing here for one more minute. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. And when you're ready, let's press ourselves back up. You can take a little bit of movement through the hips and legs if they feel like they need a little release. And then we're going to move into your hamstring stretch on the right side. So right leg is really at whatever angle feels good for you. Bending that left foot in. Remembering you can always stay in a straddle if you like, or even take the leg out the other way if that feels better for your hip or your knee. And again, let's take whatever option of support feels good for you. Maybe the bolster over the thigh or along the leg, or you can even remove it completely as well. And then let's come forward, folding over your right leg, looking for the sensation in the back of the leg. Perhaps you might like a support for the head here as well. Remembering you can always come forward with a flat back just to avoid any pain in the spine. And then we'll round forward here. Just let the head relax. And again, let's find that breath, inhaling up the back of the legs. And then exhaling, softening down. So just allowing the body to soften into the pose slowly. So you can even think about the breath as the tides of the ocean, effortlessly coming in and out of the body, soothing you with each exhale. Also seeing that each exhale is an opportunity to soften, to let go, and to sink a little further into the pose here. We've got 2 minutes left. Beautiful. One more minute here. Softening in. Four more breaths here. We'll slowly use your hands just to press yourself up. And we're going to rebound on the back now. So taking the bolster underneath the knees. Coming to lie on down. Beautiful. And settling in to rebound. And noticing here how your body has responded to the pose. Seeing if you can allow for whatever you find, whether that's sensation, thought, emotion. Seeing if we can invite in the yin energy, so accepting energy into our practice in everything we find. Really softening into our experience in this moment. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Beautiful. And if you'd like to rest here longer, you're more than welcome. When you do feel ready to move again, we'll place the feet onto the floor or the bolster, and then allow the knees to come side to side again. Nice and slow, massaging through the back and hips. Now we're going to stay on the back here, and we're going to take the bolster over to the side. It doesn't matter which one for now. And we're going to take the feet to the floor and lift up your hips. So we're going to lift up the hips and roll that bolster underneath your hips. So the bolster's coming underneath your sacrum, so across the mat. And then just make sure that it feels like it's in the right spot. So the sacrum is that triangle bone above your bottom. And then you can either just stay here. So we're coming to target the front of the hips again, but in a slightly more passive way. And if it's okay for your lower back, you're going to take both legs long, allow for that opening through the front of the hips. And then if it's okay, you're going to take arms up above the head and grab onto opposite elbows. So looking for that sensation in the front of the hips. And we're going to be here for 4 minutes. Just finding the option that feels good for you. Please, if the lower back does become sensitive, you can always bend the knees back up. It's important to be careful of the lower back with this one. Again, here we're working with the water element and the earth element again. See if you can track the breath through the body. So as you inhale, notice the breath coming down into the belly. And then exhaling, softening into the floor. An invitation here to come to count the breath. So as you inhale, counting 1. Exhaling, softening. And your next inhale, counting 2. And then softening with the exhale. You can continue this counting all the way to 20. So we're following the breath with the mind. And then releasing any counting practices here. Moving nice and slowly, let's bend those feet up, place the feet onto the floor, releasing the arms down. Just take a moment here for the lower back to stabilize a little. And then when you are ready, we're going to press into the feet. And you can just take that bolster and push it down under the knees. Now we're going to come into Shavasana now. So if you don't like the bolster under the knees, that's okay. You can remove it. And if you like, coming to bring a blanket for warmth or whatever you prefer, just taking any adjustments that you need to feel comfortable. So coming to your most restful, warm, comfortable position. Knowing that there's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Giving the body permission to rest. Beginning to deepen your breath here. Bring the awareness back into the body, breath into the belly. When you're ready, slowly inviting some movement into the fingers and toes. If you are at home and you're wanting to rest longer, you're more than welcome to do so as well. And if you are ready to move, just continuing that movement, maybe as the legs and arms stretch long. And then maybe the feet come to the bolster or the knees want to squeeze to the chest, and just taking whatever movement here feels right for the body, feels intuitive. And when you're ready, roll into your side, making your way up to a comfortable seat. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever feels easy and comfortable. Very nice. And closing down the eyes. Noticing how you feel, what may have shifted in your practice. Beautiful. Together we'll take one deep breath. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, soften. Inhale, filling up. Open the mouth, let it out. And into your natural breath, taking hands to heart center. Inviting in a moment of gratitude for each other, for the ability to practice together online, for our ability to breathe and to move.